Oh, I hit level 61.
Congrats.
Mm.
This episode of the Unwashed Asses is brought to you, as always, by patreon.com/0and09. If you like this show, if you like the other nonsense I do, if you want to make it so that Eyes Up Guardian gets its own public RSS feed, pitch in a buck or two. We got to get to 40 a month to make that happen. Gets you all types of perks and goodies. But head on over to patreon.com/0and09. Make a dream. It's a sloppy start. It's not a good start. It's sloppy, and I think I can unmute our guest here because he's done Jimmy jangling his phone.
Oh, did you hear all that?
Yeah, I heard all of it, so I had to open up a volume mixer here and open.
Sorry.
There we go. We got your video going. All right, so tonight we're cash in on the easy. We're gonna lighten the load by having another voice to talk to, and it's just not gonna be me spouting nonsense over and over again. So, for those not in the know, this is Mezzafesto. You guys might recognize him from The Filthy Casual and Friday Night Smite.
My smooth, suave voice.
Mm-hmm. Oh God, you got the looks to go with it. Mm.
Oh, so much.
That Mezzi here has been kind enough to say, "Oh yes, I will bail you out, so you don't have to blather on for an hour, and we'll make this easy." But I'm not going to dedicate all my attention to it. I gotta do some Overwatch matches, which is fine. I'll take what I can get.
No, I finished the match, and now I'm looking through my game inventory for the thing you were talking about earlier. For the next month on Friday Night Smite.
The game Oh, for Twitch, the Twitch rewards.
No, and I was seeing what kind of
Oh,
spooky games I got.
gotcha. I forgot
That's
all about
also
that.
multiplayer.
Yeah, that's the thing. So what I wanted to do was for Friday Night Smite, I wanted it to turn into Frighty Night Smite and do some
Yeah.
spooky games. But the problem is we can't find any games that are one, spooky, and two, support multiplayer.
Yeah.
Because while we could stream like Layers of Fear, the problem is it's going to be one of us playing while the other two watch it, and I'm not sure about connections and whatnot to make that viable. So we're brainstorming here. If anybody has an idea, we're thinking, what do we have? Of course, Junkenstein's Revenge for Overwatch is going to be around. Then we'll have the Zombie Island of Dr. Ned for the first Borderlands. What's up, buddy? And,
Yeah, I'll have to see about getting that. I didn't look at the price on it yet.
and then Left 4 Dead 1 or 2. But those are the only ones that I could think of. I mean, we could always do like Diablo 3, but that's the problem. Like, my computer can't handle it, and I have it on Xbox. Their computers can handle it, but they don't have it on Xbox.
Yeah. Hey, here's one. I don't know anything about this game. We got it free a few months ago, probably. Online multiplayer, 1 to 5 players. Online co-op. Game is called Evolve.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds like there's some fear component to it. It's survival gun shooting kind of thing. All right, let me go back.
Yeah,
I know
you're
that's
four
not in the
hunters
show
that have
notes
to
for
take down
today.
a big monster. Yeah, the problem I had with Evolve was that you have to play with friends, and when you play solo, nobody communicates, and you have to work as a team to take down this big monster, which is controlled by the other player, by a fifth player. And so,
cool.
when I played it, I had people that were rushing ahead, ignoring their party, and I was trying to play here like I can't heal you if I can't keep up because it's my first time, and you're blasting off.
It's my first time. Be gentle.
Yeah, we could try that one though,
That
because
looks like that's what I have, or I'd have to see what the price point is on Borderlands.
Borderlands should be dirt cheap by now.
Should be.
But that's the thing, we'd have to do some prep work and get up to like level 20 or 25 before we could even do the Zombie Island.
Would that be like just the Handsome collection? Would that have it?
I don't know. Because, yeah, I know I have it on 360, which means I should have it on Xbox One, and then I do have it on PC.
I have Borderlands 2 on PC, but that's not going to help us with the stream.
No, not really. Oh well. Oh well. We'll figure it out.
Anyway,
Yeah,
that,
so
that was just me defending myself from not devoting time and attention to the stream thing that's going on. Oh, Handsome Collection doesn't have Borderlands 1. Okay.
really, is it just 2 and then the pre-sequel?
Yeah.
Oh, so the crap ones. That makes sense.
C price.
But no. So we'll figure something out. I'll be honest, I'm stealing a lot of that inspiration from the Neebs Gaming channel on YouTube. They haven't done it in a while, but actually they did one last year. But they have the benefit of being a bunch of guys who work in the same office, so it's easy to just record one screen and then have a room microphone picking everything up. But since some people insist on living in New York and Arkansas, there's not much we can do.
Yeah, we're a little spread out and haven't done a LAN party in forever.
No, we haven't, and that's a shame.
I don't have the friends from work segue much to to capitalize on that.
No, and that's the thing. Messi pulling from the show notes here in an expert play. Yeah, making friends at work is hard. What I've run into is you hit it off with a few people, and then it's kind of like a dating scenario where it's like, well, they like me, but do they like me? Do I give them my phone number? What happens if they check the no box? Yeah, exactly.
Man.
Do you like me? You check it yes or no, but instead it's like you send them a Facebook friend request instead, and you get added into the lump sum of, well, they have 200 some odd friends. Am I any more special because I helped them out with this job? Or no, you're not. You never are.
No. See, well, the one guy that I really hit it off with at my work, he was a few years younger than me, but went to college for the work we do. The estimator, general contractor. Been there for a few years. Was more than happy to teach me the stuff that I didn't know about it and help me progress in it and everything. I ended up officiating, since I am an ordained minister, I officiated his wedding last year. It's coming up on his first year anniversary. And yeah, a few months before his wedding, he got another offer from another company that paid more money, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to go do that because it was another 10 grand a year, so why not?
Oh, yeah. You can't fault them.
No, and to be, not divulging his name or address, but to be 26 years old and to be able to pull in $70K a year, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how cute your work friend is. If you have a chance to make $70K at 26, you do it.
Yeah,
because you can always find another cute work friend for $70,000 a year.
Yeah, and you're about to get married to a doctor. Like, this isn't fair. Like, you guys got to split that up.
Mm-hmm. Tell you what, my wife and I were open to this situation where we stay together, but the paperwork and fiscal situation, it's more balanced. We have a little more of a communist situation happening.
Yeah. Yeah, probably had an opportunity to pull him into a new cult I could have formed, but I didn't go for
You've got a cult?
it. Not yet. I mean, maybe I could have. I don't know.
I mean,
But
what would the basis of your cult be?
uh,
What's the central pillar that you alone have the monopoly on and can commune with that they have to go to you for?
that would be the major selling point, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Like, is it only you that can talk to the captain on the box of cereal?
I could try that. So that's the problem with shall I say? I know we're getting into one of your topics that you don't touch,
We're
but with
talking about make believe cults. I'm okay with this.
okay, so you get more people who are able to think. Let's put it that way, and because that's one thing that I don't like about a lot of religious people is they don't want to think for themselves. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
no, you still have to think for yourself. That's how cults get started. So yeah, if I was I'd have to prey on dumb people if I was going
Well,
to start a cult.
I think that's a given with any cult.
Yeah,
Because, I mean, all them Nikes aren't going to buy themselves. You're not going to spend the money on them.
it's true. And they go for Kool-Aid. They go for like the cheap. They probably got off-brand Kool-Aid too. Instead of what like Tang, name brand Kool-Aid.
Would you put Tang above Kool Aid?
I think I would.
See, I've not had Tang in probably 15 years, so I don't know how it sits in that ranking hierarchy.
Because it's got like vitamins and stuff in it. Kool-Aid's
Does
just
it?
flavoring. Yeah, it was like astronauts drank it because it had stuff in it that was good
I've
for you.
I've got a bottle of Mountain Dew in my fridge that says it has ginseng. Does that make it healthier than other Mountain Dews?
Yes, no doubt about it.
Okay, so
I mean, it's either that or where else are you going to get your ginseng from?
I guess,
You
yeah, I
know,
mean,
what are you
we're
going to do? Just eat some
eat a
honey and
pomegranate?
stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nope.
Like, I'm not putting honey in my Mountain Dew. That's gross.
Oh,
You just go ahead and put the ginseng in there and maybe some gobloba, ginkgo biloba. You know, and we'll be set.
okay. So you've got ginseng in your Tang. Are you gonna do the Nikes, or you go Reeboks, or do you throw it back and unveil like your secret hoard of BK Knights?
I was gonna go with Airwalks.
Arrow, oh, comfy and stylish.
Oh yes, I loved the pair of Airwalks I had until the tongue fell out. That's yeah.
I think it was mandated for anybody our age that between the ages of like 12 and 19, you had one pair of Airwalks that you just beat to hell.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then some.
Mm-hmm. I I don't know. Do they even still make Airwalk? Can you
I
go
have
to
no
like a
idea.
Payless or a Penny's and get them?
Those places are too expensive for me, man.
Okay. So do you go to like the Payless outlet mall and can you find them there?
Oh, there's mostly Amish people out here.
Okay.
And Western New York's a weird place.
Okay. So
Yeah,
I want to go
I
down
think
that
there is
road
an outlet.
of Western New York, but we still have to establish. All right, the cult. We have to build up this base and this foundation. So you've got Airwalks, you've got Ginseng Tang, which sounds like a great character villain name, Ginseng Tang.
Yes.
Um, but what do you control that they come to you for?
Mm.
Do you speak for a deity, or do you speak for a known deity, or is this deity channeling into something, a new form that only you can commune with, or do you just go like the whole fortune teller mystic? I have visions. It's not one particular thing though.
Well, see, the fortune teller is going to be too easy to disprove. Yeah, so, yeah, Although if you're going unknown deity, there's an aspect of fortune tellerism to that,
Right.
and you can probably buffalo your way through that more.
Well, that's
So
why you
yeah,
rely on the dumb people. They don't question it as much. And if you get enough dumb people around you, especially like the lunkheads, the muscle, you can discredit any non-believers.
so if what I said doesn't happen, it's their fault.
Yeah, because you essentially have to be
Like,
blameless.
oh, well, yeah, like those people who don't believe in medicine because God's going to heal their kids, and then their kid dies, and it's because they were wrong.
That's one way. I was going to go the route of
Yeah.
people constantly predicting the end of the world, but we were just roll past that date like any other.
Oh yeah. Well, you heard right? There's the world's going to end in like 4 days.
Who's predicting it and how?
Um, some other schmuck. I forget his name because it doesn't matter. But it was this whole thing. He took out of context, this prophecy out of Revelation about this woman having a child, and the eclipse is the omen. So he's mixing um, biblical mythology, if you will, out of his own interpretation of some prophecy, and astrology of the most recent eclipse, and the sun was in Libra during the eclipse, and that's the whole thing of it giving birth was it moving from this constellation, and now it's doing all this, and the 30 apparently 33 is the magic number because that's how many years Jesus was alive. Where that ties in, who knows? So because of his 33 years, that now translates to 33 days from the eclipse. So on the 24th is the beginning of the end of the world.
Okay. Well, I mean, that should. I don't know. I need at least the 24th, you say? I need at least 6 more days.
Well, it only starts to end
Okay.
then, and so then it could be 7 years, 7 days. It could be a lot longer, but you said become October, it's going to be a different world.
So, how so? I mean, what are we going to see? Do I need to stock up on canned beans?
You can do that anyway. I mean, who doesn't love canned beans?
Well, people around me, because I already have pretty bad gas as is. I'm not going to exacerbate that problem.
Um, well, this is why you don't have friends at work.
I mean, for the most part, yeah, I am
The
riding along
circle's
solo in
complete.
my own little truck, but I do have my weekly meetings on Wednesdays, and I have to interact with customers, if not coworkers.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So
Ooh.
he didn't really give any how or why are there going to be hookers on is two hookers to corner per the one we had now.
Well, it was more of since he was going biblical with it, it was a reference to the tribulation kind of end time stuff of you know, 1/3 of the world's water being gone, a bunch of people getting diseases, big scary bugs, all that apocalyptic type stuff,
Okay, okay.
four horsemen type stuff, all beginning to start. Um,
So I need
which
bottles of
well,
water and cans of Raid.
at first, like the article that I read was saying that we're going to get hit by a planet.
What planet? I mean, nobody's picked up anything heading towards us unless this thing's just trucking and it's gonna catch us by
Space,
surprise.
space is pretty big, man. I mean, we know, well, we think we know that there is this Planet Nine out there. Sorry, Pluto. It's not you.
Yeah, yeah. We see the
Gravitational effects and blah
exactly.
blah blah. It's like, okay, we have evidence that there's at least a gravitational force out there, what looks to be some whatever. Um, but we can't find it.
Yeah.
I mean,
So it's
granted,
like a
it's
rogue pulling
beyond
just this really bitchin' sneak
Pluto.
attack on Earth.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we can only see its dark side, maybe, and he started with an N, and but it was a really dumb word, so I forgot it.
Nancy.
Yeah, well, it's like Narimbitu, or it sounded like a name that some cosplayer would give to a demon.
Gotcha.
It,
Like
it, it, it
ginseng
didn't make
tang.
any sense. Yeah, like ginseng tank. Um, Ninsing. Ninsing tank. But
Oh, his brother.
that would be it. But yeah, so is this whole thing on that? Like, so I'm like, okay, like, well, yeah, that's been a thing for a while. I mean, for all of our lifetimes, there's been some new schmuck predicting the end of the world, and
Yeah. Do you remember
so
the
many
letdown
people
that
buying
was
into it.
2012?
Oh yeah, well, it's like every year there's people that have a new date that they picked, and like, oh, the Mayans said, they didn't make any calendars past 2012. If I'm the Mayan calendar maker and I am 200 years ahead on my work,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take a break,
Yeah.
and
And
then my situation gets mysteriously wiped out. You know what? I sold plenty of calendars.
yeah, you did your part.
I did my part. Like I didn't need to make any more for a while.
Do you ever think like the Mayans, in all their grand powers and prowess of prediction, they would have predicted that the calendar maker would have been the most important guy a few thousand years in the future? Like,
It
dude's
was
just punching the clock, making calendars. He's putting like bunnies on some and pinup models on others. He has no idea all of history for the next 2,000 years is going to be just so invested in what he's doing.
scrutinizing his work. Like, why did he do this?
Yeah,
He
like
decided to doodle on that one that day. That's really all that
yeah,
was.
his boss is busting his balls. He goes home. He gets no respect from his wife. His kid just crapped on the carpet. But little does he know, once he's dead and gone, man, humanity's focused on what that guy did. He is controlling our fate in history. And then 2012 rolls around and they're like, big moment. Nothing. Oh, fuck that guy. Fuck him. This asshole's been telling us for 2,000 years this is gonna happen.
It kind of came up like the whole Y2K thing too. Was the same fear mongering built around it, and it's like oh, everything's gonna go out, and my our mutual friend's dad, the church would do this thing where we would all like be together, like doing this thing at church on New Year's. So Ryan's dad sneaks into the electrical room and throws the main breaker. Right at the end of it, and so the emergency lights come on and everything. Like we have guys there that worked at the nuclear plant, who poor Joe about had a heart attack, because he's thinking, trying to get ahead of this thing for the whole year, like he'd been talking about
They didn't
keeping the
tell us
nuclear
anything
plant
about this in the meeting.
and yeah, knowing that our power comes from his plant and he's there and the lights go out and you could just see, like, well, you couldn't see anything, but like he was just broken. But for like it's like 30 seconds. Like he left it off long enough for everybody to just kind of get that uneasy, like,
Let it sink in a little bit.
now what? And the pastor had no idea, and he's up there like, well,
He who
I
has the most
guess.
pants has the most power. Give me your pants.
And then he flips it back on, and everybody just, half the people laughed. I'm pretty sure Joe cried a little bit, and we just like, oh, it's nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like nothing happened. Um, and yeah, I'm pretty sure on the 24th, it's gonna. Well, I don't think anybody's holding their breath for this one.
No, I didn't even hear about it. It's blindsiding me.
Well, that's how planets sneak up on you.
Yeah, apparently, like, frost giants, frost giant roads, they just come out of nowhere and pick your pocket.
Sneak up, and then your pocket's gone, and so's your hip.
Okay, so we probably want to avoid, end of the world, grand, because people are leery about that. They know it's probably not going to happen. So we got to play it kind of subtle and smooth, where this is a deity or a malevolent force, or essentially a being of power that's not going to destroy the world, maybe bring it into nirvana.
Well, see, I need to get down to a reason as to why they need to give me their money. Like, all right, I probably shouldn't go here with you, but I mean, Scientology did it the best.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's by like if you cults 101, that's how you do a cult. I
You want
don't even
to
know what they're
increase your rate?
selling.
Give us more money.
Yeah, exactly. Like, okay, like they took a page out of the Freemasons book, every president ever, um, and yeah, you want to be in the cool guys club? Well, come to our church on this cruise ship, but you have to pay a $400,000 entrance fee.
Yeah, give us Tom
Yeah,
Cruise money, and
yeah, and oh, by the way, eat this placenta because you're supposed to.
I,
Um,
I thought many people aside from Scientologists did that.
I think they do.
You
I
dry it
don't
up, you
talk to those
powder it up,
people.
and you put it in pill form, and you pop them, and then you burp
I,
it up and give your husband a big smooch.
yeah, I did see that that was a thing that actually existed, and
So, because we're
no,
gonna just keep going off on tangents, I imagine that's just how this show's gonna go.
that's the best material ever.
So the
And there
placenta
is
was
none.
by far the most disgusting thing of birth that I've seen. Because, when you're getting ready to have a kid, you're doing all the research, you're going on Wikipedia, and of course they have pictures and like, here's this, here's this, here's this, and they're holding up the placenta, which looks like the bottom of one of those gigantic lily pads. Like it's essentially an egg case from an alien that's hatched, and it is disgusting. It is the most
It's
revolting thing
accurate. Yeah.
that I've ever
See,
seen.
I never had to see one in real life.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna ask. Because what our midwife did was she's like, "Here's the placenta." Like, oh dear God.
Like,
Like,
yeah, throw
I'll
it
cut the
away.
cord. I'll look at you cutting her cooter to make way for the baby. All that. You wipe because when they're having the baby, they shit themselves and they clean off the table. But yeah, as soon as she holds up that frickin' parachute size placenta, like, all right, I'm done. Out. You want to put that
And
thing away?
this is where I leave.
Yeah.
Like, you put that in the chum bucket and let's get rid of it.
But yeah, that was part of the conversation that we had, going into it was, well, what are we going to do with the placenta? I'm like, well, you're not eating it. I'm going to tell you that much.
like, throw it away.
Yep.
What else is there to do with it?
There's a garbage. You put it on top of your poop that they just scooped away from the table. Whatever other body parts were cutting off you at the time. You had your epidural. What do you care? Life's good.
See, I didn't get any of that.
Really?
No, both
Were
my
you just
kids were
hanging outside in
C-section.
the hallway?
Um, for Logan, I got to be in the room, but because he flipped breech after she fell down the stairs the night before,
Mm.
um, they said, well, we can't turn him around. Like he needs to come now, and you're gonna have to go for a C-section, or you go into labor, and you're looking at an emergency C-section, and we got to fly you, you know, halfway across the state to deal with that. Like, yeah, let's not do that. I don't want to be in that situation
Yeah.
where you're half cut open and getting in a helicopter. Um,
Plus, they got to
just
like try and stuff the guts back inside that they've already pulled out.
yeah, it's like okay, so with the resources that we have here, for what the hospital can handle, it just made more sense. Like, okay, no, like we've already had the whole miscarriage thing with her first pregnancy, and like so we're already on edge this whole
Mm.
time because that was a freak thing anyway. It's like we're already down one. Like
Mm.
let's get this one right. So we were super nervous. We're like, okay, no, whatever's the safest thing to do, let's do that.
Yeah.
So we had him. Yeah, I got to be in the room, but she's high as a kite, all doped up.
Is she
But
still
she
yelling
was,
at you like, "You did this to me"?
she couldn't feel anything. She was awake, but
Mm.
she's completely. And they put this big blue tarp up, and I'm just sitting there by her head, and I see a bit of blood and whatnot because I got to cut it open, and like they hold him up, and he's squawking like a child does,
So did they do
and
like a
like
little
yeah,
puppet
yeah,
show where he slowly pops up over the tarp, like,
pretty
"Arr."
much. Yeah, and like I kind of sort of peeked over the tarp a little bit, but like why? Like there's nothing to see there. It's just she's just half gutted right now.
Yeah,
I don't know. It doesn't gross me out.
I've seen field dress deer. I know what this is gonna look
Yeah,
like.
yeah. Like I got a pretty good idea. Like I don't care. Like I'm not infatuated by it. I'm not repulsed by it. This part, like okay, yeah, do your thing. Get the baby okay.
Just make sure it looks
Yeah.
pretty in 6 months when I come back to destroy it again.
Yeah, sew this up and let's go.
Mm-hmm.
And so got that done. A few pregnancies later, and here's our daughter. He's like, okay, like this it was her fifth pregnancy by the time we got to my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
It's like again, super nervous. Like we made it this far. Like you've already had so many surgeries. Like there is no logical reason for you to even attempt a natural birth here.
Well, isn't it just like once you have a C-section, that's pretty much your only viable option going forward?
If it's just the one, they'll, depending on the medical facility, they'll let you try. They don't recommend it, but they're not going to tell you what to do.
Okay.
Being that she had other surgeries due to the other issues, like our doctor was very strongly recommending, like, is not a good idea for you to go on. Like we're on board with that from the very first visit. Like we're planning a C-section around the time of the due date of this thing, and while you're in there, we're done.
Mm-hmm.
This is the last pregnancy. However it ends up, like go ahead and take anything else out while you're in there that you can to make sure we don't do this again.
That's just prudent planning then. While we're here, you mind doing a little tidying up?
Yeah, exactly. And she's like, because we had made that decision before she got pregnant. Like, one more chance, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
It was too much emotionally, physically, all of that. It's like, okay, here we go. And so she's like, well, I'm glad you told me that now, because if you had waited a couple months, like, we wouldn't have been able to schedule it at the same time. Good thing we already had.
Like,
this
how could they not
discussion.
schedule it? Like, you're in there. Just, I'll give you the ice cream scoop. Do what you got to do.
I don't know, but that was what they said. But it didn't matter. We got it done, and it's all been good since then. I didn't even get to be in the room for my daughter's birth. I was in the process of moving the day that. So she left the one house that we were in. Drove her to the hospital. Got her there like 4 a.m. My son and I sat in the waiting room. I think he says I took a nap. I probably did. It was early. What am I gonna? I'm in the waiting. There's nothing for me to do. Like everything is completely out of my hands. They're not gonna come running and call me. Hey, come in here real quick. No, there's nothing for me to do.
Right, because at that point it's more like a surgery than it is a birth.
Yeah, exactly. Like we'd spent like the last 2 days packing the house, so that she had the baby, got to do all that. Meet your new sister, blah blah blah. Make sure everything was good at the hospital. We were there for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
It took my son. We like, all right, we're gonna go do something special. Like we stayed at a hotel, just me and him. That was there in town that had a water park inside the hotel. Because we're cool, so we did the whole water park thing that night, and then next go see her at the hospital, and then come back home and start loading boxes in the minivan and get the whole house moved while she's in the hospital. Get the new house set up so that when she comes home in 2 days, to a house that she hasn't been into, that the crib's at least built.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she has a bed. Because that whole being cut open thing does a number to them, that they're not supposed to lift anything. So
I think it's just an excuse, but whatever.
yeah, and there was one thing in the move I kind of feel bad about. I tried to find a way to save this thing, but it was one of those old school player pianos.
Okay, so like one of
Called,
those
with the
upright ones where
rolls
it's
you
got
put it.
the paper and it rolls through.
Yeah, it
Okay.
had like 30 or 40 of the rolls, but the piano needed some work, like as far as that goes. There was an organ grinders thing. I talked to a guy about it. He's like, yeah, to get this thing actually what it needs to be a piano and a player piano again, you're looking at like $4,000.
Jeez, I'm pro. Just buy a new one.
I guess I'm not going to have a player piano. Yeah, get an electronic one, right? Forget this old-fashioned stuff.
Like
So
here's this
I
Casio
tried.
from 1989. Does the same thing.
It's got a beatbox too.
Laser sound effects. Choo, choo, choo.
Yeah. So I posted it on Craigslist for like $100. I'm like, please, someone just take this thing. I took the price off. I posted it back in free. Just come get it. And I got no bites on the thing whatsoever.
Well, sounds like
So,
you're kindling then.
Well, it was early January. So I was able to roll it out to the porch, and there's like 4 steps down from the porch. I'm like, I can't carry this thing down the steps. I can't. So I got it down the steps the only way that you could. So it did a barrel roll, down this, and I got a sled. Like I was able to then tip it onto a sled and push it down the hill on the sled as far away, get it far enough away from the house as I could. A little bit of gasoline and threw a match on it.
Like I
And
imagine there's some Amish father and son standing on a hill like that. Ezekiel is why we don't have electricity.
yeah, like, and I burned it and just like, and then we picked up the after a while picked up the metal from it and we scrapped it. That was all there was to do with it. Like, man, I feel bad. Like, here was this pretty cool antique that could have been something to somebody, but I had it wasn't going to fit in the minivan.
Yeah, and if it doesn't work, there's no point. Like I'm a very practical person. We went recently to a craft fair, which essentially was an outdoor garage sale. It wasn't even like here's crafts and goods that we've made. It's here's crap that I found in the back of a barn. Please buy it. And
here's some junk I found.
Right, and so the thing was they had a lot of Halloween decorations up and for sale, and there were some like crafty type items. And I was looking at this pillow that had been, hand painted or something. It looked really, really cool, but the fabric on the pillow itself was just really rough and garbage, and there was no padding in it. And granted, there was a zipper that I could stuff more padding into if I wanted to. But immediately I start getting grief for like, well, it's not a pillow you're going to use to rest your head on. It's one you just look at. It's a decorative pillow. I'm like, if it's a pillow, it's going to be used. Right.
Oh yeah, I don't understand decorative pillows, decorative towels. Like
don't use that
I'm
soap.
very like what? I'll cut you another flower out of the next bar of Irish Spring. Whatever. I can whittle. Sure. Maybe I'm just a guy and I don't understand it. I'm willing to admit I do not have an eye for interior decorating. You want to ask me if something is level or equally spaced or whatever. Like we would build bulletin boards and put lettering up and stuff like that. And like they would be staring at the letters and trying to figure out the spacing they'd start in the middle and trying to make sure they spelled the words right. And I was like, what are you doing? Give me those. I would just start at the beginning, at the left-hand side, put them all up across, and it was fine. And they would hate me for it. Like, how do you do that? Like, I counted the letters, and then I looked at the board and I made that many spaces in my mind,
I can do
and I
math.
put them up.
Those sound like perfect candidates for a cult.
So like that's how I see, like, so if stuff that I can't use, I don't see a reason for it. Like
Mm.
here, the fall decorations, around the church and stuff, and people putting pumpkins and stuff like all over it. And I got a nice little garden outside. It's like, hey, you want my corn stalks? He's like, sure. Like, okay. So there's no corn left on it. They're half green, half brown.
Yeah.
So I cut them all off, and I bring them. And it's like, I just stick them in the corner over there, and I put them. I was like, oh, that looks perfect. Like some great thing of art just happened. There's just gonna be a mess. The pollen bits are falling off. The leaves, like, it's just a mess to me. Like,
Well, that's why you
darn
gotta
it.
shellac them first.
Yeah, I did none of that. I clipped them out of the garden at the base, and then just now there's a mess in my trunk. I just put them in the car.
But, yeah, I mean, and that's something I went through this most recent move. Ending a relationship of 9 years and a few more years apiece. Like, you accumulate a lot of garbage, and so I've been on this like purge, and it's been cathartic as far as like, well, I don't need this. I've not used this in ages. Let me just go throw it in the dumpster, and then you look at the empty space it used to be, and it's like, oh man, so much room for activities now, and like it's a closet. I'm gonna fill it up with more garbage, but I don't have that thing like hanging over me anymore, and it's just, I guess I can see the appeal of this minimalist lifestyle that's taken off for people like, well, if I'm not gonna use it, I'm not gonna have it, and they're living
Yeah.
out of like storage containers and pooping into 5 gallon drums of like bird seed.
If it wasn't for some of this over here, I don't know if you can really tell
Mm-hmm.
what all that is.
Chinchillas.
Yeah, chinchilla 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I gotta go the other way. 5 hermit crabs there. Um, that's a whole wall in the living room.
That looks like a great space for an L shaped desk and a couple
Yeah.
wall mounted monitors.
The desk instead is a 6-foot table. Because I had like a real wooden, well, it wasn't real wood, a real particle board desk for a while. It moved with it from Illinois, actually. I had it when I was in college. That's a lot of ceiling now. And, it's particle board. It wasn't made to last. So I was like, okay, it's time for it to go. It takes up a lot of space. It can only really fit one computer. So we just bought a 6-foot table from, Walmart, since that's what we have here.
Yeah. I did something similar when it's like we had two of those crappy little like corner desks that barely hold a keyboard and mouse on them. So I went out to Menards and I got a 9-foot piece of wood and a couple 2x4s, sawed them to length, and just made this desk that essentially spanned the length of one wall, and we fit 2 computers and a printer there. It looks like total garbage, but it did the trick.
By the time you get everything on it, and you want to spruce it up a little bit, throw a piece of laminate over top of it, and it looks pretty.
Well, what I did is I got some of those fancy wrought iron angled like supporting brackets and put those everywhere.
That works.
Yeah, I mean, that's all it's got to do is do the job. That being said, I like
Yeah.
nice, pretty things. Mostly, I like my characters to look pretty, but
Yeah.
that armor, while pretty, serves a function. It gives me some great fire resistance.
Yeah. See, I can appreciate the artsy, pretty stuff to an extent, but when it's the decorative towel, like, okay, well, where's the towel I can use? Just wipe your hands on your pants. Like, I don't. I don't
But I
like
got
this house
barbecue
anymore.
sauce all over those.
See,
Why do you
yeah.
think I'm here?
Come on. So, one thing I really appreciate about my wife is she's that practical medium. She wants things to look pretty, but hey, we got some art up on the wall, a W. Henry painting. Um, the rest of the wall is chinchillas. There's a wall out there that she's got, you know, artsy stuff on, a shadow box for her mom,
Mm.
that passed, and some the cute little vinyl sayings and pictures of us. Okay, I get that. Flat gray wall, just paint the wall just so it's one color. Get rid of the old wallpaper, and hang some pictures and stuff up. Like, okay, I get that. That's that happy medium of functional yet art.
Now,
I'm
do you
okay with
guys
having
have
my kids.
that live, laugh, love stencil somewhere on one of the walls?
No, no, but we've moved things around in the house a little bit. So what is now our bedroom was the kids' schoolroom for a little bit, when they were younger. And so she stenciled on the wall a Dr. Seuss saying of, "Oh, the places you'll go." And now that's right above our bed.
Man,
And
that's
I
got to
think it's
spice up the
fantastic.
sex life.
I think I'm the only one that interprets it that way. Well, and probably you that interpret it that way. But she's like, "Oh, we should repaint this room." Like, I kind of like that saying right there.
As you snap the rubber glove.
Um,
Remember, safe word is onomatopoeia. I love you.
we haven't. There's not been any of those places.
Yes. You got a long road ahead of you, buddy.
Uh,
There
yeah,
might be a pit stop or two.
we're 12 years in now.
That's a good long haul. I mean, it's longer than my parents made it, which is weird to think about because, like, I don't know, I'm in this perpetual mind state of early 20s. Not that I'm going on, the Christ year 33 and I'm going to start hitting my stride.
Yeah. Well, you're pushing 34 though, aren't you?
33. I was younger than all you guys.
I thought you were a few months older than me.
Nope.
Because your birthday's December or something?
November.
I was close.
Yeah, you were. I wasn't going to say anything.
I wasn't like 6 months off. Yeah, I don't remember birthdays real well. It's not intentional. It's just
I
I
don't
don't
either.
know.
I mean, if it's not on Facebook or popping up on my Outlook calendar, I'm not going to remember it. And
Yeah,
then today it's been nothing but incessant reminders like, hey, it's your ex's birthday. I'm like, fantastic. Thanks for sending me 5 reminders.
great. So I know my wife's birthday. I know my children's birthday. I know my siblings, um, but only my siblings and my parents, and 2 ex-girlfriends' birthdays. But I pretend like I have forgotten those.
Yeah. I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, it's like oh, I'm not even going to say the date out loud. Like, oh, it's that day again. Well, yeah.
Isn't it amazing how that stuff still creeps up on you? Like
I
you're
was
in a
like, oh,
happy, healthy, committed relationship, and then you get that one little like nagging reminder, like, oh,
like, I haven't talked to this person in like 13 years, pretty much.
mm-hmm.
Although at my sister's wedding, I tried really hard to avoid her, like, but I ended up having like the most awkward minute conversation. Like, yeah,
Hey, remember that time we smashed our ugly bits together repeatedly? Nice
that
to
didn't
meet your
happen,
husband.
but but yeah, it's like I have nothing to talk to you about.
Mm-hmm.
It's been 13 years since we've spoken for a reason.
Yeah.
I have nothing to say.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing else to say.
Well, it's always that funny thing, like here's this person that is the most important thing to you in the world. You tell everything to them, and then one reason or another, in the span of like an hour, you no longer talk to them ever again.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sometimes it gets drawn out and protracted. We're like, oh yeah, you're slowly breaking up over the course of 5 months, but eventually you hit that point where you never speak to them again. And then when you do see them, it's like you get that tinge of pain and it's awkward, and you're just wanting the moment to end so you can go back to your life and forget it.
Yeah, like, I don't know if I ever told you the story on what went down with that one, but it was, we're on break from college, and we were back in Illinois, not in Oklahoma, and there was this whole thing like, hey, I want to cook you dinner and all this. Like, okay, great, I'm all for it, knowing that you can cook.
Mm. Make me fat. Go
So,
for it, woman.
yeah, I was like, I'm halfway there. To see if you can take me the rest of the way. Um, so like, yeah, come over to the house. Like, so that's what I'm thinking. I'm going for a dinner and a movie at her house.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's in my mind. I'm 18,
Blockbuster
right?
and get fat.
Yeah. We were gonna watch Reign of Fire. Like, okay, dragons. All right,
Oh,
do
that
that.
that was the one with Matthew McConaughey, wasn't it?
I don't know. Didn't finish the movie.
Oh no.
Um, like, so I think middle or end of dinner, like her dad starts into this, like wanting to know how serious I am about her, and like if I can see myself marrying her, or if I should, if I can't, then it should break it off
What?
to let her pursue other interests. Like,
You're 18. You're just looking to maybe get your dick wet and eat some potatoes and steak.
it, yeah, I just wanted the potatoes and steak at that point, like with that. But it's just like I came for dinner and a movie, and you're throwing the rest of my life on me.
Yeah.
And I didn't even like.
Like, do
It
you
was me.
understand where I am in life? I want a Big Mac and to watch some dragons.
Like we hadn't really been like a couple, like talking and all that for that long. It's like, yeah, I know we're in college, and now all of a sudden our eyes are open and there's all these other fish in the sea,
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. Like, but it doesn't, like, yeah, there's a ton of pretty girls out there. It doesn't mean I'm trying to, explore my options.
We're not Mormons.
It's like I. Can I say right here at surprise dinner that I'm ready to get married in the backyard?
Yeah, like, did he
No,
have the shotgun ready to go?
probably, because then it's like she can leave the room if you want her to. Like,
How?
okay, is that
God.
gonna be better for her? Like, no, right
That's
now
like,
I don't know.
so his dad is breaking up with her for you, but forcing you at the same time.
Yeah, that's kind of what, and it's like, well, I think with that, and then you should really, you can so, like, if she wants, like, hey, we've been this on again, off again relationship. Like, if she wanted out, she could just get out. Like,
Mm-hmm.
she didn't need to go through all this trouble.
Like, with all
Like,
due respect, I'm dating her, not you.
it's kind of like, dude, you could have asked me. Like, we've known each other since the fourth grade.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could have talked to me about. You could have at least warned me what dinner was.
Yeah.
Like, and so the movie was
So
after that.
was
It
she
was
in on
like,
it?
oh yeah.
Oh. Oh, that's a raw deal.
So, well, and I had kind of had my suspicions that she was getting close to this guy that, back to friends at work,
Yeah, yeah.
close to this guy that she worked with, and also went to the school there and everything. And it's like, yeah, I'm kind of, like, if I'm really your boyfriend, I'm kind of uneasy about you and Dave.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Fuck Dave.
she did. She married him too.
Oh, well, congratulations, Mazel Tov, I guess. It worked out for everybody.
So it did. It was like, all right, well, like this was the weirdest breakup.
Did
I,
Dave have to sit down at dinner though, before he watches Reign of Dragons and get this bomb dropped on him?
uh, I stopped caring after that day. Like,
But I would have
there
thought,
was.
like, when you guys go and you meet at the wedding again, like, so Dave, how was Reign of Dragons?
See,
Reign of Fire.
he wasn't there for some reason. I don't know why he wasn't at my sister's wedding with her. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I have not talked to Dave since I left Oklahoma.
Okay, so it was Oklahoma, so it wasn't the guy whose bed I peed on.
No, no, that was some other dude. And funny enough, that guy actually did not come back to school the next semester. So
Oh,
he didn't even get to enjoy the bed you christened for him.
oh man, and that had to marinate like for a few months too. I feel bad for the next guy.
Oh yeah,
Like he
it
didn't
would
even
have.
deserve it.
Well, he probably did. It's all right.
Everybody deserves a little piss in their bed. Only it wasn't a little. I completely emptied the tank on that one.
Yeah, it was interesting. Uh, See, and this is why you don't want your close friends to be the ones at work, because then they know these stories about you, and it gets all around the workplace.
Yeah.
Of course, now it's in the but I mean, this was 13 years ago that you wet somebody else's bed.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have shame then. I certainly don't have it now.
This
Especially
is
when this
true,
thing's going to become an award-winning podcast.
and this is why so much emotions and feelings and everything laid bare.
This is why I create that safe space, so we can get stories like this out in the open, so we can go on a two-peat and get 2 awards. Before long, I'm gonna move somewhere else. I'm gonna put a shelf behind me just filled with all my awards for telling stories about piss and cum.
I'm not aware of any of the stories about the latter. Um,
Don't worry, we're only on episode like what, 31, 32? Plenty of time.
so much time.
I mean, we already got through cults, placentas, births, impromptu shotgun weddings.
We've deviated from the show notes so much.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I mean, Mike Tyson Mysteries and my love for that show can definitely wait.
I will have to watch it and see if I can find a YouTube of it or something.
Well, I might be able to. If I can't at least increase your internet speed, I might be able to get you credentials to watch it for
Yeah.
free.
See here, I am a Spectrum customer, and you, as my Spectrum buddy, should be able to pull some strings for me
Yeah,
here.
now I had not identified what company I worked for until now, but whatever. Safe space. We're out in the open here.
We'll just edit that line out
We're streaming.
of the
Somebody's got
upload.
it already. I'm on vacation. I'm gonna come back next Sunday. Like, so Christian, you're handing out credentials to other people, huh?
I hear
No.
you're parking customers' houses and loading up on beans just for those special customers.
Yep, yep. Oh well, it's what it is.
All right, I missed that. Well,
I always like to dance around it, but I mean, honestly, if you could rub two brain cells together, you figured out which cable company I worked for based on where I live.
yeah, well, they pretty much have like their jurisdictions that they're
Right.
allowed to be in. Like here, you can have this one cable internet provider who surely does not have a monopoly in your area.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, because you have
Or
Dish or Direct or these DSL providers or satellite that cannot compete.
yeah, like satellite, you get this amazing download speed. Oh, by the way, you have to dial out to get any upload.
Yep. And then you got to go broom off the dish if there's any type of inclement weather.
It's like, I don't even have a phone line.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I cut the cords whenever I find them in my way. It's like,
That is the number one thing that aggravates me, and it's typically elderly customers when you go in like, okay, we're hooking up a phone service because our phone system, it's all VoIP. You just plug into the back of the modem and you're up and running.
oh, yeah.
But they're like, no, I plan on using this old rotary phone in this kitchen with this outlet, and so these people still have phone line run throughout their house that I have to go disconnect from the major telco and then trace and tone all these wires to make sure they're hooked up and deal with these rat king nests of spliced lines that nobody's touched in 20 years.
Oh, yeah. Like, I've seen some of the way the cables are run here, and you get in areas like this. I mean, the new houses out here are 120 years old. And
God.
Sandstone foundation, they didn't know what concrete was. I know
Right.
the Romans had it, but
We have
apparently these
similar
people
thing
didn't.
where it's fieldstone basements out here.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same building structure. So, like, dirt basement floor, that's,
Mm-hmm.
if you get a basement. I've been
It's
in some.
4 foot nothing, if that.
Yeah, and it's gross, and
But somehow
who
they
knows?
still fit the water heater down there.
Yeah, who knows what died down there or is ready to eat you, and all of this stuff. And, like, you can see, like, here's some new Romex, here's some stuff in a pipe, here's some knob and tube still running through, and then here's a phone line with a splitter connected to a splitter connected to a splitter, and then they're right over there in that desk behind me. The phone cord is sticking up through the heater vent.
Yeah, I've noticed
It
they
just
do
ran
that
it through
a
there.
lot.
It's like you're not even trying to get it. Of course, they're all lath and plaster walls, so you don't dare try to cut a hole in the wall because half the wall's coming with it if you do.
Right. And then that stuff's just murdering your Wi-Fi signal.
Oh, yeah. With the wireless headset, if I walk into the kitchen, on the other side of that wall, it loses the signal.
Yeah.
So, my router right over there, I have named it. I live in the town as Medina, so I have named my wireless signal Medina Free Wi-Fi, and then it's password protected just to troll my neighbors. And people walking
Medina,
like,
because
oh,
it rhymes with fun.
free Wi-Fi. Like, oh, nope, you don't know the password.
That is one thing I like to do because I drive around a lot for work. Is I like to find people's open Wi-Fi's and then put a password on it. Sometimes I'll even go so far as like renaming the network, yell penis for the password. I remember I was training one guy and I told him, he's like, you're a terrible human being. Like, just you wait, baby bird. You got like 3 more weeks with me.
He's like, just wait, you're going to get out here and meet some of these humans.
Yeah.
And that innocent, jaded person that you are is going to be gone.
There's a reason I call this show the Unwashed Asses. But speaking of which, we burned through an hour super quick. That's exactly what I was hoping for.
It really did go fast.
So, do you got anything you want to plug or pimp before I kill this?
Throwing my carnival this weekend. Come check that out.
Any listeners in
here.
in Medina, New York, Amish territory, go head on over.
Yeah, come check out the carnival. And then I'm gonna try to still do, my semi-scheduled, the Filthy Casual stream. I'm not sure what I'm gonna play. If I'm gonna continue Shadows of Mordor. The new expansions is a way different game. So I've gotten this taste for competitive Overwatch and competitive HOTS, Here's the Storm, at the same time. So I'm not sure which one I want to do. But I want to do competitive ranked play on something, I think.
All right, well, definitely tune in at twitch.tv/HFC Gaming. Thursdays at 9, or if you just see the channel live, because like Dan said, we don't really follow a schedule anymore. We just broadcast willy-nilly.
An attempt is made.
Yep.
I like to think of myself, the Olympic athletes would be so much more impressive if there's just average dude also running the same marathon and finishing a day later. So that's my stream. Like I'm completely casual at it, not really that great at any of it. Yeah, I am the everyman. Like I am just your average schmuck picking up a controller and throwing down with it. I would love to be in a tournament, would probably get out round 1, but I could say that I was there if that ever comes to fruition. Come be on my team and be normal with me.
There you go. All right. So beyond that, of course, head over to you want to write the show, theunwashedasses@gmail.com, and of course Twitter at unwashed_asses. And we'll see you next Monday at 9.
Monday.
Like the dark and the night, oh no.
This show is part of the HFC Gaming Network. Get more at horrorofcasitis.com.